Apple has just announced its latest line of products, which includes the new iPhone 17, upgraded Apple Watches and AirPods, and select AI capabilities. This is Apple's first big announcement since President Trump unleashed a barrage of tariffs, pushing Apple CEO Tim Cook right into the hot seat. And ABC's Becky Worley, she's live for us at Apple headquarters in Cupertino, California. Becky, thanks for being here with us. And we know Apple announcing some new features, right, including live translation for those AirPods. That's incredible. What else stands out to you?
Can you imagine how useful that would be, Kana? You've got your AirPods in, you're listening to someone speaking Spanish or French, and you're hearing what they're saying in real time in English. This is incredible technology using AI and very functional. That not only coming to the AirPods Pro, but also the AirPods 4 and to some models of the AirPod Pro 2s. So that'll be rolling out over time. And then talking about the watches, accessories are huge for holiday coming up. This event is timed aptly. So for the Apple Watch Ultra, it now will have satellite connectivity so that you can text for help or to your loved ones, even when you don't have a cell signal. That is great for safety and for peace of mind. And then on the Apple Watch Series 11, they are now saying that after 30 days of readings, they can send you an alert if you have hypertension, high blood pressure. It's literally the silent killer. So these kind of warnings and notifications are huge steps forward for wearable tech, and a big one for Apple, Kana.
Wow, major safety measures there. We know that prices were going to be watched very closely here, but it sounds like they've remained relatively stable here, yeah?
Yeah, well, let's talk about the prices that are really interesting, which are on the new slew of iPhones that have been released. So the headline here is the $999 iPhone Air. This is a 5.6 millimeter thick, or thin as it would be, iPhone, which is considerably thinner than the 8 millimeter iPhones that we've seen in the past. And this is a big step as Apple's trying to compete with many of the Android phones that are already that thin. In fact, many of them with that thin screen can now fold. So is this a precursor to a foldable Apple iPhone in the future? Who knows? Then we move up into the iPhone 17. And here's where the pricing is really interesting, because the 17 model is $799, and that's what the previous 16 was. So this is a very intentional statement that Apple is trying to keep prices roughly in line, or at least in some of its flagship products. Then to the 17 Pro, it's $1099, and I want to talk about some of the features that you're getting with this phone. So it has ProMotion display, which got a big ooh ah from the very geeky audience. They loved that. And then the camera features are cool. The back of the phone has a very different design. It has what they call the plateau that sits up high. And then when you take a selfie, there's a new way that works. First of all, Apple said 500 billion selfies were taken last year by iPhone users. So normally, it's easy to hold it in this orientation, but that means your photo's always up and down. Well, now, by just pressing a button on the screen, it will automatically switch to landscape, and the sensor's now big enough to handle that without a resolution drop. And if you click on the AI, you can be in portrait mode like this, but if your friends jump in and start smiling, the camera recognizes people have joined in, and it switches to landscape to include everyone. That front-facing phone has also gotten a big upgrade in resolution. So major developments. This is a pretty big iterative step forward for Apple, and the geeks are happy, Kana. The geeks are happy.
It certainly sounds like it. I really love watching you demonstrate the selfie, too. That makes me very, very happy, Becky. Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. It's always wonderful to be with you. Thank you so much, Becky.